Good morning, friends. So in this video we are going to study about sizing windows. Basically we are exploring some window operations. So sizing window is also a part of a window operation. How exactly you have to size a particular window? For example, if you are developing a GUI and you have to decide what should be the ideal size of a particular page or or a window. So first thing is provide large enough windows to present all relevant and expected information from the task. Okay, provide large enough. You should not develop a very small window. So you should large enough means it should not be too large also. Okay, present all relevant and expected information for the task. Avoid hiding important information. Avoid crowding or visual confusion. Minimize the need for scrolling. So always we should not put so much of information so that the user has to scroll. Okay, so either it should not be very small or it should not be too large. If a window is too large, then determine is all the information is needed, is all the information is related. So if all the information is needed, that's fine, but if all the information is not related, then it's better to divide that page into two pages. Okay, otherwise make the window as small as possible. Okay, then optimum window sizes, for example, for text it should be about 12 lines, not more than 12 lines. For alphanumeric information it should be about 7 lines, just 7 lines. uh, some advantages of larger windows are they permit displaying more information, they facilitate learning, data relationships and groupings are more obvious because everything is visible to the user in a single window. Less window manipulation requirements exist. You don't have to manipulate the windows, you don't have to enlarge it, reduce the size. Breadth is preferred to depth. Breadth means this way, from here to here. Depth means from here to here. So always we should try to put the information in breadth wise, not in the depth wise. More efficient data validation and data correction can be performed. So if all the data is available in one page, then we can compare the data, we can validate the data, and if there is any mistake in the data, then we can correct it easily. Some disadvantages of large windows are longer pointer movements are required. If the windows is too large, then I have to move from here to here. Again, it is a stressful on the user part, because again and again you are asking the user to move the pointer. Windows are more crowded, so more bigger window means you are putting lot of information. More visual scanning is required. Okay, other windows more easily obscure parts of the window. More visual scanning in the sense more information, so the user has to scan his eyes. I mean, more visual scanning. It is not as easy to hide inappropriate data, so it is not very easy to hide inappropriate. The same information is provided here. So the next one is window placement. Where exactly we have to place the window? The first one is, in placing a window on the display, consider the use of the window. What is the use of that particular window? The overall display dimensions, how large is that window? The reason for the window's appearance, why exactly that window is appearing at this particular time. Okay, so based on this you are going to decide where exactly you are going to place that window. Some general observations, I mean, guidelines. So position the window so it is entirely visible. You have to place that window in such a place that it should be, or such a position so that it should be entirely visible to the user. If the window is being restored, place the window where it last appeared. So if you are restoring some particular window, then for example I'll minimize it. Let me minimize it. Okay, so you just observe this place. I will minimize it and I will look here again. It came back to the same position. If the window is being restored, place the window where it last appeared. If the window is new and the location has not yet been established, place it at the point of viewer's attention. So generally viewer's attention is this area, not this or not this extreme ends. Okay. In a position convenient to navigate to. If this is a area where I can easily navigate, okay, uh, so that it is not obscuring important or related underlying window information. For multiple windows, give each additional window its own unique and discernible location. If there are multiple windows, then you give your own unique and unique location. For example, if you are opening 4 windows, place one window here, place another window here, place third, and okay. If none of the above location considers apply, then horizontally center a secondary window, horizontally center within its primary window just below the title bar, menu bar and any dot. So if none of the above location, so just place it at the center. Then if it is a dialog box, if it is a dialog box relates to the entire system, center it on the screen. So this is what is the center. Keep any information on the underlying screen visible. So again you have to make the underlying, background screen also visible to the user. If one dialog box calls another, make the new one movable whenever possible. If one dialog box calls another dialog box, make the new one movable whenever possible. So make the new dialog box to move it. Okay, so these are some of the things. So the next point is window separation. How exactly we are going to separate the window? Crispily, clearly and pleasingly demarcate a window from the background of the screen on which it appears. It should be crispy, it should be clear, okay, and it should be pleasingly demarcate. Demarcate means it should be distinct, okay, it should not just mix with the background. Okay, provide a surrounding solid line border for the window. Provide a window background that sets the window off well against the overall screen background. Consider incorporating drop shadow beneath the window. Let's see, suppose if I open one window, you see, okay, how exactly it is being represented. Can you able to see a shadow here? Yeah, there is a shadow here. Can you able to see a border here? Yeah, so this is how you can make this window distinct from the background window. Okay, then moving window. Permit the user to change the position of all windows. So you cannot just restrict the user saying that no, you cannot move this window from one place to another place. We have to permit the user to change the position of all windows. Change the pointer shape to indicate that move selection is successful. So you have to change the pointer shape. So whenever you are trying to move one window from another window, for example, you see here, this is how I can move the file. So you can clearly see. Okay, suppose if you are trying to move this window, you look here. Okay, hope you are understanding me. Look how the moment I'm moving, its background color changes to white. Look here, when I leave it, it becomes black. When I hold it, when it becomes white. Okay, move the entire window as a pointer moves. So whenever I am moving the pointer, the window is also moves. Permit the moving of a window without its being active. So even though it is not an active window now, I think, yeah, which window I was trying to move just before, I think no, not this, yeah, see, look here. So this is not an active window now till now, but still I am able to move it. Okay, so these are some guidelines for moving a window. In the next video we will study about resizing a window. Okay, thank you.